The Ukrainian state power company says the power line supplying the Chernobyl nuclear plant has been damaged by Russian forces again after it was repaired. The Ukrenergo company said in a statement Monday that its technicians had started to supply power on Sunday evening, but before the power supply was fully restored, the occupying forces damaged it again, and that it will attempt another repair soon. The power is used to feed pumps and other equipment, which keeps spent nuclear fuel at the former power plant cool to prevent radiation leaks. The Chernobyl site is also equipped with diesel generators, and Belarusian authorities said last week that they had set up an emergency power supply from the nearby border. Well, with us to discuss these radiation concerns in Ukraine is Mr. Mike Haynes, a consultant in matters related to radiation protection. Sir, welcome to Forum Daily.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Now, the Chernobyl plant was damaged again by Russian forces, according to the Ukrainian state power company. These Russian forces continue to be in full control of the plant since the February 24th attack. And we're also hearing reports that workers in the Chernobyl plant are being held hostage. So a lot of developments at the Chernobyl plant. Sir, tell us a little bit more about this, the severity of the situation and the risks that this presents to the safety of the plant.
Well, maybe I'll just start by saying why there's a concern at all. This used fuel or spent fuel is left over from the days when the plant was operating. That's over 30 years ago, and needs to be cooled for an extended period of time because that fuel continues to contain radioactive material as it releases its radioactivity into the water that it's contained in. That does create heat. And so there is a concern that water could overheat over time and cause some excessive release of radiation. This seems to be much of a situation in flux because my latest understanding from the International Atomic Energy Agency, or the IAEA, is that power again has been restored, which is important because it provides electricity to the pumps that circulate that water around the used fuel. More importantly, I think, however, the IAEA has stated, and other external agencies have corroborated this, that even without those pumps, there is sufficient cooling capacity within that water to cool the fuel such that no radioactivity would be released.
Well, taking that into consideration, we are seeing these disruptions ongoing in terms of the power supplying this plant. So if this power is responsible for cooling radioactive material and it's continuously tampered with, how would this impact the safety of the nuclear waste within the plant?
I don't believe it is a major risk. I think from everything I understand, and I've seen corroboration, from the IAEA, which is extremely important. They would have all the parameters. There is sufficient cooling. Now, it could be that there's some increased risk to workers at the plant. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I don't see a significant public risk.
All right. So considering, as you're saying, the International Atomic Energy Agency is playing down these concerns around this plant, should international leaders be concerned at all about the situation at Chernobyl?
Well, ironically, Russia is a founding member of the IAEA, like Canada, and has been a member since 1957. It's also important to note that Russia has a lot of nuclear expertise itself. My understanding, there has been communication with Russian nuclear authorities and experts. They can help. What I would really like to see is that the IAEA be allowed into the Ukraine, not only to Chernobyl, but to the other operating sites, so that they could independently verify what is going on, communicate that to the outside world. I think that would set a lot of people's mind at ease because they would be viewed as a credible a technically competent source.
All right, sir, just about 45 seconds left here, but what else are you keeping your eyes on as the situation progresses?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty about the state of things in the country generally because of the war, and this is a concerning situation. With respect to the other operating nuclear plants, again, I am not overly concerned, but I mean, it's never a good thing when you have people operating a nuclear power plant at gunpoint. So some of the normal protections are probably not as robust as we might like them to be, but I don't see a major concern to the public. And clearly, this is not in the Russians' best interest to have a nuclear event during this horrible war that we're watching.
All right, sir. Thank you again for joining us on Forum Daily.
You're very welcome. Thank you.